Hello, everyone. This is Aaron Gutekunst from Elevate coming to you live on this beautiful Monday morning. And today we're going to be going over the last segment in our email marketing topic for the month of April. And that topic is going to be a solid strategy that will turn your good content into great converting content. Now, we've covered a lot of stuff over the last few weeks, and so this is where it's going to kind of all come together in this nice mishmash for your marketing strategy. And we're going to be covering a lot more in a guide that we're going to be releasing soon on our website, tryelevate.com, where you can go in and see even more awesome tips, tricks, and strategies to really polish up your email marketing. But there's only so much time I have on these Monday morning mentors. But anyways, I digress. Let's get started. So you may have, you may have a lot of great information in your emails. That's what we've been talking about over the past couple of weeks. Is like what is providing value to your audience. But ultimately, at the end of the day, if your strategy sucks, then you're not going to get very far in, with your ROI with even with great content. If you're just sending it out at like the worst possible times for opens, or if you're just bombarding inboxes, even if it's good content, um, people can get worn out pretty quickly if you're hitting them every single day with multiple emails. So we're going to avoid wasted time and frustration. We're going to do proper planning because proper planning produces peak performance, right? So first thing we're going to talk about is schedule, automate, and don't overwhelm. So it can be easy again to get carried away and hit the same audience with 3+ emails a week. But be mindful about how often your audiences, like your different target markets inside of your email marketing platform, are getting your content. Outside of maybe like automated responses. You know, keep newsletters and market reports to something more that's more monthly schedule. Announcements can be more as needed. Educational, at most do weekly. For drip campaigns, you want to be sure to spread those out. Using your reports, at the end of the day is what's going to be kind of your dividing rod to see what's working, what's not. So if you start to see folks dropping off from different campaigns because it might be part of a frequency issue, then it might be time to slack off and do a little less content to them on a slower schedule. Kind of dovetailing off of that is being able to target the correct audiences. And we kind of touched on it a little bit before in week one, but you know, just as an example, you never ever want to send a brand new listing email to a client that you just helped purchase a home. It wouldn't make sense to them. You'd be like, they just helped me buy a home. Why are they sending me this brand new listing that I don't care about? Click unsubscribe. Be vigilant in who is getting what content and try to only send content to lists and contacts for whom it actually makes sense. I guarantee leads will unsubscribe if you're sending them content that's irrelevant to them and doesn't interest them. Remember, the name of the game is providing value, and being able to do that is and do that consistently is what keeps those leads, whether they're hot leads or cold leads, or if they're current clients or past clients, is what keeps them steadily engaged. Next, local content reigns supreme. So, like I mentioned in week one, you may have an email marketing platform that provides content for you, but I can almost guarantee you that content is not going to be local unless you have a content writer that you've hired specifically to put in local content. But those kind of get expensive. Um, if you have a program that does provide content for you, always be sure to put in local content yourself, something that's going to be relevant to your audience. Especially, I mean, if you're creating your own emails as well, you always want to be sure to include local content. It always gets the most engagement because it provides the most value to your audience because they're local. Um, and you can speak to something that's on a statewide level, maybe like a bill that's going to be passed soon that might affect um, their their property taxes, or it can be as small and as specific as something to like a neighborhood. Maybe a new park is being put in this one subdivision. You want to talk about it. People are interested in what's going on around them, so include content that scratches that itch. Um, Next, you want to be sure to follow best practices in styling. Now, there's a whole laundry list on what to do and what to avoid, and we're going to be providing a much more comprehensive list in the guide that we'll be releasing soon, specifically about email marketing. But in the meantime, here are some quick and easy tips to kind of use as a starting point. So first off, you want it to be readable. Never, ever, ever write an email or a subject line in all caps. Um, First off, spam filters hate this, but secondly, no one likes to read that because for most of us, especially those of us who are millennial age and younger, um, that comes across as yelling in an email, and we don't really like to read that. So if your audience is millennials, don't write in all caps. Um, and then please also be sure to double check for spelling and grammar issues. This is your online representation, so you want to make sure that you sound um, is, for lack of a better term, literate. You want to be sure that people are not getting the wrong impression because you maybe misspelled ad and threw some s's in there that you weren't supposed to. Next, stunning visuals. Be sure to use beautiful graphics and stunning photos. But remember, like we talked about before, keep it to a minimum. Entice readers to go to your listings or landing pages with all that glorious content in full. You don't have to put all that glorious content in the email because it's just gonna get lost. Next, and this kind of ties into that, is maintaining balance. Maintaining the good balance between text and images. You want to always try to aim for the 80% words to 20% images because, again, it's a little bit easier on the eyes. It also makes spam filters a lot happier, and that's going to tie into our next topic, which is avoid spam. Um, on top of avoiding spam through putting way too many images and not enough words, you want to avoid spammy words in your subject line and even in the body of your email. And I'm not gonna I'm not gonna go through the whole list here. There are entire guides online, entire articles online dedicated just to listing the literal hundreds of words that spam filters will key off of, just because so many of them have been used inappropriately in spammy emails. I mean, I can guarantee you've seen them pop up in your own inbox from time to time. So, kind of going through and kind of picking out the stuff that you shouldn't, using one of those lists to kind of pick out what you shouldn't include. And again, avoid doing the all caps. Next up, you want to make sure that it is deliverable. So sending an email that's one massive graphic, which I have seen before, or one massive PDF or one massive flyer, something that is just an image and no actual like typed out text in the email is a huge no-no. Just trust me, just don't do it. There's so much that hurts your marketing efforts there. For one thing, if your readers have an inbox that makes them approve an image before it actually displays, if you send an email that's just an image, it's going to be blank until they approve it. The next thing is spam filters really don't like that. So if you send an email that is just one big image, a spam filter can't read what's on it, so it's going to assume you're trying to sneak something past it, and it will more likely flag it. So make sure it's getting to an inbox by avoiding things like just sending one massive graphic as your or one massive flyer as your email. Recognition, always include your contact information, of course. Make sure all of your emails have your branding on it, and never send a marketing email without an unsubscribe option. This is very, very, very important because then you start getting into legal issues if you send a marketing email that does not have an opt-out option. So always be sure to include that at the bottom. Using an online marketing system like Elevate will include those automatically, but if you're sending out emails on your own, then you want to be sure to include an option there as well. Um, Next, engage. Always include something for your readers to engage with in your emails, whether it's a link, contest, an RSVPing to an invitation, or just any kind of call to action. You want them to not only see your email and take in the information, but also be able to engage with it in some capacity because that's what helps make it stick. And then lastly, consistency, especially when it comes to your branding. Keep your font colors, your font sizes, and your font styles consistent. Don't turn emails into a techno-colored eyesore. Stay within your brand colors, make it easy for readers to recognize your brand on site. I'm sure some of you may still see the emails that come through from your great aunt that are just like this one huge email just full of like little gifs or gifs and little clip arts and like all these random colors and sizes for text. It just looks gross. Like, don't do don't do that. It's not great. Folks don't really like getting that from real estate professionals. Keep it clean, keep it tight, keep it on brand. All right, so I know I've covered a lot of ground, and there's still more that we could further dive into, at a later time, and we probably will. But in the meantime, however, feel free to check out our helpful free guides that cover just a multitude of topics like this one, as well as the brand new guide that we'll be releasing soon to kind of reinforce and expand upon what we've covered this past month with email marketing. You'll be able to find those at tryelevate.com/free underscore educational underscore guides. Also, while you're there, just check out tryelevate.com, see all the cool stuff we have available for you. We have a lot of educational content on there as well, besides the guides that you can dive in and explore. Our YouTube channel, social media presence, just check us out. We have a lot of great things that I think you would really enjoy. Next month, we're going to be starting on the topic of content, different types of content that give kind of like the strongest ROI. Because again, the whole purpose of putting out content is to get some kind of return on it, right? Whether that be recognition or leads or SEO. And the idea is to provide lots of valuable content for your audience without spending all of your time sitting behind a computer. So until next time, I'm Aaron Gudikans from Elevate. I look forward to our conversation next Monday. And until then, I wish you all a wonderful week. Bye-bye.